In the last years of the 19th century, Vienna glowed with music, whispers, and smoke. And inside a quiet studio, far from the noise of salons and banquets, a man worked in silence. Gustav Klimt, shy, reserved, almost invisible in public, created worlds that felt more vivid than reality itself. He rarely spoke. He avoided crowds. He wore simple dark clothes. But his paintings, they burst with gold, desire, myth, and visions that seemed to come from some secret interior realm. Klimt was born in 1862 in a poor suburb of Vienna, the son of a gold engraver. The boy watched his father press leaf after leaf of shining metal onto delicate objects, and without knowing it, Klimt absorbed the material that would later define his art. The language of gold. He grew up quietly, drawing obsessively, and for years lived a life so humble that few imagined the radiance he would eventually unleash. But something in him was always listening to the whisper of ornament, to the stories buried in myth, to the shimmering boundary between the sacred and the sensual. By the time Klimt became a young man, Vienna was changing. Artists, poets, and thinkers felt trapped by the old rules. They longed for freedom, for an art that reflected dreams instead of dogma. And Klimt, soft-spoken as he was, became the unlikely leader of a revolution. He helped found the Vienna Secession, a movement that declared, "Let every age have its art, and art its freedom." But freedom comes with conflict. When Klimt painted a series of works for the University of Vienna, raw, symbolic, unsettling images of medicine, philosophy, and law, the public was outraged. He was accused of corruption, obscenity, decadence. Critics called his art a sickness infecting the respectable world. Klimt didn't fight back, simply walked away. He returned the commission money, left the institution, made one quiet vow. He would never paint for anyone but himself again. What followed was his transformation. The man raised in poverty began crafting paintings that looked like they were made of sunlight. Gold leaf, mosaic patterns, Byzantine halos. He created art that felt ancient and eternal, shimmering beyond time. This became his golden phase, the period where he painted some of the most iconic images in art history, such as The Kiss, portrait of Adele, Bloch-Bauer, Judith, Donné. Women wrapped in gold, suspended between desire and divinity. And behind these visions was a constant presence. Emily Flurga. Emily was Klimt's muse, companion, confidant. But their relationship was not the romance people expected. There was tenderness, a shared life, a shared silence. But no evidence of passion in the ordinary sense. Their love was something quieter, deeper, a connection that existed outside the rules of marriage or possession. They inspired each other. They supported each other. They grew old together, side by side but untangled. Klimt never married. He feared being bound. He once wrote, "There is nothing that frightens me more than the burden of the everyday." And yet, in Emily's presence, he found a kind of peace, a stable orbit around which he could continue his inner journey. As Klimt's career grew, so did the world's fascination with him. But despite the fame, he remained the same, gentle, withdrawn figure. While others drank and debated in cafes, Klimt stayed home with his cats. While others lectured about art, Klimt let the paint and the gold speak for him. His silence was not emptiness. It was concentration. It was devotion. It was the space from which his visions emerged. In 1918, during the Spanish flu pandemic, Klimt suffered a stroke and died shortly after, at age 55. He left behind canvases unfinished, patterns incomplete, symbols waiting for resolution. And yet somehow, his life feels whole, because Klimt understood something profound, that beauty does not demand explanation. That ornament is not frivolous. It is a language of the soul, that desire and spirituality are not opposites, but reflections of each other. His art teaches us that the sacred can be sensuous, and the sensuous can be sacred, that we carry gold inside us even in the darkest times, that humans are mosaics, fragments of longing, memory, dreams, and light. Gustav Klimt painted the human condition not as flesh, but as radiance. And maybe that's why his work endures, because it reminds us that beneath our everyday struggles and uncertainties, each of us holds a small piece of the infinite. If this story of Gustav Klimt touched you, and you'd like to explore more journeys into art, philosophy, and the inner lives of creators, please subscribe.